Okay, so
Yeah.
how old are you?
I'm 19 years old, man. I'm gonna start my 20s in like 4 months. So, yeah, I'm still young, bro.
Yeah, right on. How long have you lived in Gaza?
My entire life, basically. I've never left Gaza. I wasn't born outside of Gaza. I've been born in Gaza and lived my whole life in Gaza.
A lot going on right now, huh?
Yeah, I mean, like too much going on. I can't fathom it myself.
What made you start doing social media?
So when I first started social media, so I just want you to imagine this, all right? So when I first started social media, it was like back in April 2024, and back then I was displaced from my house. The situation with food was getting more and more difficult, like every day, and like just as I started making content, I got the news that my house was bombed. It was mostly destroyed. And so I want you to imagine that despite all of this going on, I was still working out. Like I was still, hitting my workouts every day, training and having a split and tracking my exercises and sets and everything. So thinking that despite all of this, I was committed and disciplined to my journey, even from my own perspective, that was honestly inspirational. I found that really inspirational. And I just decided to, start sharing this with the world. I decided to start making content, documenting my journey, and showing the world how it's like for someone like me who's trying to pursue his dreams to live in such conditions. And here we are, like a year and a half later, with everything documented so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not common for someone to have their house bombed when they're, when they're first starting out.
Yeah, look,
Very uncommon.
when
Very
was the last time you talked to someone they told you the house was bombed?
never. Yeah, actually, never. Like not
Basically,
not
yeah.
not ever once in my life have I had that conversation. So that's why this is a unique situation. Like I've seen the content, I've seen what you're doing online. I think it's super creative. Given your circumstances, it's a little insane. So congratulations on that.
Thanks,
Um,
man.
yeah, I just want to know what first off, like what was it like growing up in Gaza?
Honestly, my life before this all started in Gaza was just like any normal person's life. Despite when it comes to leaving the country, that was when it was mostly like a struggle. So like I was born in 2005, like in December 2005, and from back then until now, I've lived like through, I would say like 7 or 8 wars, I believe. So imagine like I'm not 20 years old yet, and I've already lived through wars. So when I think about my life before this all started in Gaza, there were like a little bit of struggles here and there, but in general, like I wasn't really struggling with anything from like of the basics. When I think about having shelter, having food, having medicine, hanging out with friends, doing what I love, there was no real challenges in it. You know what I mean? It was like I was before this all started. Like I'm talking a few months before it all started. I was a university student. I was going to the gym 6 days a week, completely disciplined. I was studying business administration in university as well as taking a few courses on the side. And so it was like any other university student and gym rat life that you would expect to see. But with having that feeling of instability, like all of this could turn upside down like at any second. That was, I would say, the feeling that we had before this all started. And even though it wasn't really affecting our lives, and we were just going with life, we were pursuing what we love, but it's still there. And all of a sudden, you would actually wake up and find out that your fear has come true. Like everything did actually go upside down. Now it's a struggle for you to find shelter, to secure food, to get water, and to basically have a normal life.
And how long
So yeah,
how
I
long
mean,
has it been like that since when?
like talking like before this all started or now?
Well, because you said you've been in how many sort of, not you specifically yourself, but how many sort of wars have you been through throughout your entire life?
Throughout my entire life, all right, wait. Including this one, it's 9. Yeah,
Nine.
including this one, it's 9. Maybe like I don't need to include this one because like this doesn't compare to any other wars that I lived before. But yeah, I mean, if you want to count it as like a tough situation that I'm living through, then yeah, I would say none.
It's interesting because it's all you really know, right?
I mean, yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's just indescribable. What can I say?
Now, how did you find? We'll get back into the Gaza stuff and the sort of conflict stuff in a bit, but how did you find love for the gym? Like, do you watch social media content creators? Are you like how did you get into being like, I want to be able to make content?
Now, talking about my fitness journey, like to begin
Yeah.
with, like when I first started going to the gym, I started going to the gym in mid 2022. I was going into high school back then, and just like any other teenager, I had this, kind of motivation that I wanna, get better. Like I want to be a better version of myself. So I was, looking into business. I was looking into crypto. I was looking into the gym and fitness and everything. And so one aspect of my life that I really wanted to work on was, my physical appearance, my physique, my strength, and so on. So I started hitting the gym back then. Of course, like not knowing anything of what I was doing, just like any other, new lifter.
Yeah, of course.
So the more I started going to the gym, now I'm a nerd. Like whoever follows me knows how nerd I am, how much of a nerd I am. So I used to like learn new stuff about the gym every day. Even before I started making content, I just wanted to make the most out of my journey. And so that's how I developed the love for fitness. Seeing more results with everything I learned, seeing, being able to compare myself to people I see on social media. Like new lifters just like me, and finding that I am doing a good job with what I am doing. That was like a motivation for me. But yeah, like when it first started, I was, having this feeling, like a feeling from inside me that I wanted to be better. And the more like I get, inspiration from content creators on social media, the more I see people going to the gym and, making new friends in the gym. That was like an extra push on the way. Now, when this all started, and I had to stop like working out for the first, I would say, 3 or 4 months, before I started making content. It was mostly about the mental side of it. Like I just wanted to have this feeling back again, like this feeling that I am still sticking to what I love. I'm still pursuing my fitness dream, as well as making gains and for pursuing that fitness dream that I had in the beginning of working on my fitness goals and my physical appearance and physique. So yeah, this is I would say the major part to it, as well as like a few things that happened along the way that motivated me to.
Or like a heartbreak or something. Everyone's got a heartbreak.
No, it was not a heartbreak. Yeah, I
No
just
heartbreak.
gotta say, like,
Nothing yet.
I gotta
Nothing yet.
clear it. Yeah, I gotta clear it. It was not a heartbreak. Don't worry about it.
Okay. You have someone a lot different motivating you. Okay, so it's so crazy, bro. So where did you start? Where did you first live? And then how come you like where are you now compared to where you started?
Okay, when I first started making content, I was in the city of Rafah, the one in the very south of Gaza Strip. And from there, believe it or not, from there, I was displaced 8 times after I started making content. But if we are talking in total, I was displaced 13 times since
Holy.
from house to house to house to renting an apartment to a tent to my relative's house.
What was it like? So they're just like the IDF just comes in and they're like, you guys gotta leave, and you just leave? Or is there like where to go? Is there like are there specific yeah.
So for the first, I would say 8 months or maybe like 7 months, it was basically like a matter of how intense the bombings are. So like whenever we would feel that the area we are in right now is not safe to stay in, like there are bombs like left and right, that is when we decided to evacuate. So basically it's just for your life. Is that you don't know where you're going, you have no idea if the place you're going to is safe or not. But it's just, going out from a place that you know for a fact is dangerous now. Now, after that, I would say like starting from, evacuating from Rafah.
So they didn't send like text message. They didn't say like, hey, we're gonna Amber Alert. There's gonna be a bomb here. Get out of here.
Yeah, this is the part that that I'm getting into now. Like after the Rafah evacuation, because like when they when we had to evacuate from Rafah, and we had to move out from Rafah, there were too many people there. Like you're talking like a million plus people in Rafah.
Yeah.
So using this style of just bombs left and right and run for your life just didn't work back then. Like it didn't make sense. So from that point and moving on, whenever there's an evacuation in the area, there would be like some social media posts on like IDF pages. There would be flyers and like papers that fall from the sky saying that this area is dangerous and all.
What the
And
fuck?
right after you would get this paper, like drones would start hovering. You would start hearing bombs here and there. So you would have like I don't know an hour or 2 hours to pack all of your stuff, get a car or any kind of transportation, or even go on foot and get whatever you can get, and just move out of the area.
And just go where? Just set up a tent somewhere?
Set up a tent somewhere. Maybe go back to the ruins of your house or a relative's house that you still have standing somehow. It's just that when it comes to living in Gaza, evacuating is like a matter of going someplace safer. It's not safe. Like there's no safe here. It's just going to another place that's safer. That there's like fewer bombings there. That for a fact there's gonna be maybe like a few shops open, or maybe like some people who have grown some plants that are gonna be selling it. So at least you would have some kind of normal life to go out, sell, buy some stuff, and to just go on with life. It's not only about safety. It's just even if you are in a place that's safe, but there is no one around you that's growing any plants and
Yeah.
selling them. No one is having any products or making anything that like wise, let's say just food. Like I'm not talking about hygiene products. I'm not talking about like furniture or anything. I'm just talking about food. Like you wouldn't be able to go somewhere where when there is no food at all, even if it was safe. Like okay, you're gonna go there to do what?
Yeah. So
So
how does this how
yeah,
does
like
this
basically just going to the nowhere.
so over here, right, in the US, we're kind of watching all of this stuff that's happening back and forth, like what's happening with Hamas, what's happening with the soldiers, the IDF, all this kind of stuff. What is actually happening with the aid?
Okay, so basically now when it comes to the aid, we have three main sources for aid. The first one and the least safe one is the GHF, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. That's where that is where everything you see on the videos on social media happen. Of people being carried in flour bags into hospitals as dead bodies. Just trying to secure food, trying to get aid. So that's one source of aid. The second source is airdrops. This just recently started happening. Airdrops just recently started getting into Gaza. And I would say, out of the three main sources, this is the one where we get the least amount of aid, because I believe I saw this in like a statistic that was done, is that every three airplanes equals to one aid truck when it comes to how much aid they carry. I believe every two or three aid planes. And when you talk about like eight, maybe or 10 aid planes entering Gaza, that's like 5 or 6 trucks entering, and that's not gonna make much difference. Now the third, source, and the one that we mainly rely on, are aid trucks. Having the borders open, having the aid trucks entering, and just having as much aid and products entering Gaza from the borders. That is where the real difference happens. So you can see this for yourself. The GHF, for example, has been open in Gaza for like I don't know, maybe 2 months, 3 months now, and we still had like such high prices. Like 1 kilogram of sugar was like $100. So these like don't
Wait, so
carry
they're still charging for the food that they're giving?
not the GHF. The people that get the food from the GHF and bring it back to the safe zone. So like they would risk their life to go get aid for themselves, and then like whatever they have left over, or
So
like whatever extra stuff they got.
so when you say
Yeah.
risk their life, you mean the people that go there to get the aid, they're risking their life to get the aid because people are shooting them as they get the aid?
When I say risking life, yeah, I mean the shooting that happens. Like and this is the like this is the way I want to think about it, is that if the situation was safe around the GHF, more people would go there, and then more aid and products are going to be brought back to the safe zone. So whoever goes to the GHF then is not gonna see that what he has as much value, for him to sell it for like $100 or $200. But when there's like a lot of like people getting killed every day, people getting injured, people leaving empty-handed from the GHF, now whoever brought something from the GHF is gonna see it like extremely valuable. Like not everyone can go there and bring this. So he would charge like
But
insane prices, like
I get
$50,
it.
$100 for
But
things like $1, $2.
so who's killing the people at the aid?
I guess we know who, bro. Like, is this actually a secret? Like, I don't think it's a secret, man.
Okay. Okay. So that's why the prices, or like whoever's bringing the aid back, whoever's willing to risk sort of their life, they get the aid, and then they bring it to the other people who are trying to survive. Essentially, is what it sounds like, and then they're like, hey, bartering, or they're paying for stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the system that the aid is entering Gaza right now is what I like to call die or buy. So you either go to where the aid is, because there are no aid distributing centers right now. All aid distributing centers are either in the danger zone or destroyed. So even like the aid trucks that enter Gaza just enter to nowhere. Like they don't have a destination to go to. So for us civilians, we either have the choice to go to the aid trucks, to where the aid trucks are going to be stopped or whatever, or go to the GHF or go to the airdrops, risk being killed. Like even like when it comes to the airdrops, for example, I believe a 12-year-old kid was crushed by an airdrop today, to death. Like he was crushed to death. The airdrop fell on him and he was crushed to death. So you either go to where the aid enters, where the aid is, and you risk your life, or you would, prepare your cash, prepare your money to pay for whoever brings the aid back to the safe zone. So that's how it is. Other than that, you're just gonna die of hunger, bro.
Bro, this is insane. I'm not trying to laugh, like, because it's not funny at all. So I apologize. I don't even know how to react. It's
honestly, bro, like if it wasn't so tragic, it would have been funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, oh man, it's such a weird. I can't believe I'm having a conversation about this, to be honest. Because we hear that this is happening. We hear all these things over here in the States, and it's just interesting to talk to someone who's actually there, to hear it firsthand, to know like the actual truth, like someone who's living through it, right? Because we're told so many different things from our government. We're reported on how it's actually going down, and it sounds like what you're saying makes a lot more sense. I guess that this whole thing with we always hear this Hamas thing. It's the reason why this is happening is because it's Hamas, right? But I guess when we have this conversation right here, it almost sounds like the aid is there, and they're kind of waiting. They're waiting for you guys. And what I'm curious about is like they're just shooting people indiscriminately, or it's like they're trying to find, from what we always hear about it, they're terrorists.
Yeah, I mean, basically it's just like a free fire, basically. Like I don't know if you've seen this video of I forgot his name, but the American officer that was talking about Amir, the guy, the little kid that he gave like rice and lentils to.
Yeah.
And this little kid like kissed his hand and held him by the face and kissed him and thanked him for this little aid that he gave him. Yeah. And once Amir was leaving the aid center, or like the aid point, there was like a shooting and Amir was killed. So basically, like, you wouldn't say there is a specific reason this person was killed and this person wasn't. It's just free fire. That's how people get killed.
But it sounds insane. It sounds like here's aid, and like, but it's almost like a trap.
Basically, yeah. Like that's like the best way to describe it. And honestly, like what even is not insane when it comes to our life in Gaza? Like whatever you talk about, you're gonna have some insanity in there. Like there are some stuff that you're not gonna believe, and I guess you just gotta see it coming now. Like you have to see something coming now.
Well, how can people like me help? How can people actually help?
So when it comes to helping, Gazans, this is something that frustrates a lot of people because no matter what people like seem to do, it just never seems to be enough. So one thing I would say, like for anyone watching this, is first of all to donate to whoever you know for a fact is someone helping on the ground in Gaza, because when it comes to having a food crisis, money would help for those, just like going back to the die or buy point. That is going to help most people go to the buy option and not the die. So
Yeah.
this is one thing I would tell everyone, whoever has the capability, whoever has the ability to donate and support families and organizations on the ground, like people who know for a fact needs this money to help people or to be able to like manage with the situation themselves. Just go for it. Like it makes much bigger of a difference than you think. And the other thing I like to mention is the pressure that every like civilian, every resident is doing, with the protests, with the boycotts, with sharing the words, with praying for us in Gaza. All of this also makes a difference. Like nothing goes in vain when everyone is doing it. Like no matter how little of an effort you are putting in, if everyone is doing it, it's gonna accumulate. It's gonna make a much bigger difference than anyone ever imagined. And I just want to say, like, I want all the support that is going towards Gaza to keep happening and to keep being put, like, by everyone around the world until it's enough to end all of this insanity, to help us, like, break through, all, like, this, I would say, misery that we are living. And I really hope that it's gonna happen soon, inshallah. Like, God willing, I'm really hopeful about, the coming days.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm praying for you guys. I guess another question I have kind of on regards to, I don't know if it's the aid necessarily, but I see all these videos on Twitter. You see like, iPhone videos, dead people shot, babies, all this stuff. How real is that? I'm assuming that's real life. That's not just like some fake.
It is
Yeah.
real life. Like,
Yeah.
who would spend the time making this on AI or maybe getting it from a video game, when he can just record it happening in front of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many of your friends have you, or people that you know personally, have passed away?
So for me personally, I know 4 people that were killed since this all started. One of them is a relative, and 3 of them are friends. One person that a lot of my followers and everyone that follows me knows about is Mido Halimi. He used to be also a content creator. He started making content in almost the same period of time that I started making content in.
Yeah.
We collaborated on a video. Like we went to the gym together and we worked out together and we made like a little challenge together.
Yeah.
And honestly, like having this chat right now and knowing that I won't be able to go back home and tell him, yo, bro, I mentioned you in this interview with Bradley, and like we spent some time talking about you. This is like one of the very few things that actually break me, to be honest. Especially after we made the YouTube video, the gym video together, like we made the gym challenge together. We spent some time talking that day about, like our dreams, what we're planning to do when this is all over or when a ceasefire happens and the borders open and stuff. And the least I can say is I literally saw myself in him. Like he was like a twin to me. Like I've never felt so close to someone when it comes to personality, mindset, thoughts, and even like the spirit he has, to how I felt to Mido. And I gotta say, like, I still like in a couple of days, I believe like in 2 weeks or something, he will have passed out for a full year. Like I still remember the 27th of August, 2024. That is the day that he was killed. That was the day that he was martyred. and that was, or at least that was when I got the news about it. So to think that this feeling that I have for Nido, I could literally have for any person at any second. And this is why I make sure to like text all the people I know at least like once a day. Make sure they are fine. Ask them if they need anything. Ask them how they are feeling. Because like you never know when it's your last chat. Like you never know when you're gonna get the last message from them. So yeah, I mean, I gotta say, like, even talking about this, like, brings me a lot of memories. And something like worth mentioning here, since we are talking about the people I lost, maybe
Yeah.
mentioning the places I lost as well. My gym was recently bombed as well. The gym that I was working on, and the gym that I was working out in, in my journey in my videos.
Help me understand this a little bit. So this is another thing. Obviously, we're told all the time, at least in our media, that what's happening over there as far as the IDF is concerned, the Israeli government, they're the most moral army, is what they say. They like to repeat that a lot, and they're they're not just indiscriminately bombing things. They're sort of like, it's because there's the Hamas group is there. That's how they describe it. So they were in your gym. Were they getting a pump?
I have no idea, man. I mean, maybe those barbells look enough like rockets for them to be bombed. I don't
Like,
know.
I'm just
Like,
wondering. Like, I just so I don't get it. Like, we hear it, and I'm just kind of like, is what's really happening? Are they just bombing buildings indiscriminately? Because I've seen pictures, and the pictures very much look like literally everything is just bombed. Is that just?
I mean, yeah, like just I believe like a month ago or something, one of my friends went back to the area that we were living in, like the area where my house and his house were. And I gotta tell you, like, not a single building is standing there, man. Like I've seen the area when it was destroyed before, like before we came back to our house. I don't know if you've watched this part of my series or like my videos. Back when my family and I rebuilt our house and went back to living in it. Now going back to my house back then, I found the area like completely destroyed, and now I just can't. I don't honestly know how to describe it, because even what was left standing back then is now just rubble. Like I don't honestly know how, like, who believes the fact that there is any kind of like discriminate, process happening here. But when you see like 15, 20, 30, 50 buildings being wiped out in a single area, you know for a fact there is something wrong. Like there is no way what you are hearing is correct. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's just, when you think that my gym was bombed, my grandma's house was bombed, my relative's building was bombed, like a four-house building that like was like house for 5 families was bombed. My own house was bombed. Like I'm sitting here right in front of you. Did you like ever hear me talk any like piece of crap that would make me like a source of danger or something?
No.
And this is like one of the reasons I really wanted to start making content and sharing my journey, is that everyone, like, whenever you talk to a Gazan and he tells you like he feels like his end is near, he always tells you like, no, for a fact I am not a number, right? Like we are not numbers. But only hearing that, and imagining that we are not numbers is not enough. Like when you talk to me and you see how much I am of a nerd in the university, how much I used to like go to the gym, how much like I like this style of music or doing this kind of art or something. Now you can actually feel it when I tell you that I am not a number. You
Yeah,
know
you're
that
a real
I'm just like
human,
a
bro.
human. Yeah, I'm just like you. I'm a human
Yeah.
being with dreams, ambitions, current plans, and memories, and everything in life. And all of a sudden, like you would, hear the news that I'm gone. So, are you serious? Like this is something you would look at and think is normal? I don't think anyone should look at this as normal by any means, right?
No. So you said something that was significant about, we're obviously you're not just a fucking number, right? You're not just a statistic, right? You're a fucking human being. And it's just interesting because, on I guess on the American side of things and like the political sort of commentator side of things, there's a few things I've just always found really interesting. You're Palestinian, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
How long have you been Palestinian for?
19 years, man.
Your whole
Born
life.
and born and alive a Palestinian. Yeah.
And you know a lot of people. Growing up that were also Palestinian around you, right?
Yeah, a lot. Like
Grandparents, parents, etc. Right?
Yep.
There's a very weird sort of notion that Palestinians are not real people. They don't exist, and it's. I just want your perspective on that, because I've grown up, and when I was a child, I had Palestinian friends. I've had kids that I knew were Palestinian, and I knew that their parents were from somewhere, a lineage from that location, that area. But to hear people modern day say things like this is sort of a problem.
I mean, yeah, I would say like that's a huge problem, not only like a normal problem. To think of the fact that people are now like getting to the point of dehumanizing for us, to the point that they would like deny our identity like existing in the first place.
Yeah.
So honestly, bro, when you look back into history, and you would look like at a map that's like 80 or like 90 years old, and you look into there and there is like Palestine, like you're gonna see there like written like one word, Palestine. And so whenever like you would think of it as doubting a full identity, like, oh, where is Palestine? Oh, who are Palestinians? You gotta like, you're like pushing the line too far now. Like you can't deny something that for a fact exists. And the fact that we are right here, spreading the word. We have millions of following us from all over the world, and that know, they know like information about Palestine that everyone that is like, oh, where's Palestine? Oh, who are Palestinians? They probably like have never heard of about Palestine. So like the whole like the question in and of itself is honestly just disgusting to even begin with. And to think that me, for example, someone that was born in Gaza, lived his 19 years of age in Gaza, that knows everyone around him, with all their dreams, with all their memories, with all the places they lived in before, like in occupied Palestine, and hear all of these stories, and then like have someone ask me what is Palestine or who are Palestinians.
Yeah.
I mean, like if with everything that's happening, everything you are hearing, everything you are seeing by your own eyes, you still have this question. I'm honestly like hopeless in changing your thoughts about it. Like,
Yeah.
what more can we do to like prove our point? Like,
Yeah.
to
By
prove
the
our
way, I
point?
don't have that question. It's just like I'm
Yeah, I
posing.
know.
I'm posing something that I've heard it, and when I heard it, I was like, "That is despicable." Like that is the definition of like scumbag. Just I can't even believe that I can't believe that it was real.
I mean, yeah, like, bro, especially with this is like something I did like this is something like I really loved to incorporate into my journey, which is fitness. Like the whole my whole like page, like my Instagram page, is about fitness basically.
Yeah, of course, I've seen it.
And the reason that I did this is that when people think about Palestinians, they always think about them as evacuating and crying and stressing out and like not knowing to do what, like not knowing what to do in life. But I'm like, bro, we are actual human beings. We are actual, we are people who have dreams. We have the same vision you have to different aspects of life. And for you to not only like doubt my existence and to doubt my humanness, let's say, but for you to also like doubt my identity when I am, out here sharing that I'm a normal human being with all the history that you've heard of, with all the memories that you've heard of, with all the events that you've heard of, and I am still going. I am still, sharing you the life that I have with everything that I've lived through so far. I mean, that's just despicable to say the least, bro. Like it's just stupid.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But at least This is not funny. Why am I laughing? I was gonna say at least you have.
Fine, bro, this is the normal reaction.
I know,
Like,
I
there's
know.
nothing normal about this.
At least you have the. You have the probably like the record for the craziest place in the world to have worked out. Like, there's no beating that, dude. I think you have the crown on that. I don't think anyone else would work out anywhere like more insane.
Oh yeah, you know, like this is something that a lot of people tell me about, especially like that one clip of me working out on the rubble of my own house.
Yeah, yeah,
That is like something that people went crazy on.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I definitely like have the crown for this. Like, I don't think anyone will have any crazier place, because like whenever I tell someone like what was the craziest place you ever worked out in, they would tell me, oh yeah, like in a restroom or like in a restaurant or in the principal's office or something. And I'm like, bro, like, are you being serious, man? Like, what even is that? Like, there's no competition, you know.
Yeah, bro, got doing pull-ups in a house that was. It's not funny. I'm sorry. I feel like it's so painful. It's like the only way to make it. It's not all right. It will never be all right. I apologize. It is terrible, but it made for really good content. Yeah, I apologize, man. I'm sorry this is happening.
Honestly, bro, like the thing about like our lives is that, like I told you in the beginning, if it wasn't so tragic, it would have been funny. And I honestly like imagine this, even if like worse scenarios happen, and like even if something bad happens for me, like let's say the rest of my house gets destroyed. Like, okay, I had like 2 rooms still standing in my house, and we fixed them and everything. And if I go back to them and I find that they are bombed, like even that little part of my house is also destroyed now, I honestly have no idea what my reaction will be other than laughing. I honestly have no idea. Like, even for me, someone who's affected by this, even someone like who's like gonna live the next few months and years in a whole different condition, in a whole different situation, because something terrible happened to him. Like, that is still like, even for me, I can't help but laugh about it. So yeah, whenever like whenever you smile or laugh about it, just like don't apologize. I understand the feeling, bro.
Yeah,
I understand it like more than you do. I would say.
Well, man, it's the interesting thing is I don't even want to say at least. It's such a weird position to be in, but you for sure will probably never ever go through something harder than what you're going through right now. And
I can't imagine. Yeah.
I think when you make it out of this, I think every single other challenge in your life will feel very, very small. Very small.
Bro, like you put it like, yeah, you hit the nail on the head, man. Like,
yeah.
When I think about like my life, when this is all over, when I get back to some kind of normal life, because honestly, like when I think about it right now, what I need is that I would have a stable source of electricity, a stable source of internet, a stable source of food, and some sense of safety. That is all I'm asking for.
Yeah, like, that is the most basic human shit ever.
Yeah, like I'm telling you, when I think about my life before this all started, I'm like, bro, what was I even complaining about back then? Like, bro, I had chicken, I had oats, I had a gym to work out in. I was safe in my house. I would go out like at 12 a.m., like in the middle of the night, to go to the gym and hit like a night session. And that would be completely fine. There would be like not a single problem. My phone would be charged. I would have internet. I would be able to text whoever I want. I honestly have no idea what problems I had back then. Like, oh, my university is getting too like I'm having too much stress and pressure in my university. Bro, just man up, okay? Like that is really not that much pressure as much as you think it is, okay?
Yeah, that's for damn sure, bro. So I mean, it's such a sad thing, but there's a little bit of silver lining, maybe.
I mean, okay, like I would say the silver line here is gonna be the fact that right now I am much luckier than a lot of people. Like, I have a platform, I have a fundraiser that people can support me on. I have, like, I would say with the support that I'm getting, like.
By the way, we're gonna put that in the link in the description right now. So if you guys want to support, go there right now and do it. Do it right now.
Yeah. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
So, like with the support that I'm getting from people all around the world, I can say that I was at least able to have one meal throughout my day when people were literally starving from hunger. And the fact that I have this platform helped me not only like help myself and my family, but also like help those who really need it. So like whenever I would see someone struggling to like get maybe like baby formula for their baby, or like get flour for his hungry children, I am able to help them because of the support that I'm getting. And other than the mental peace, like the inner peace that you get from helping someone out,
Yeah.
it's also the fact that I like this is not a one thing. It's not like a one time thing. Like this is something that I'm gonna continue to do. I'm gonna continue getting support. God willing, I'm gonna continue to help people, those who I see struggling, to provide the basic stuff for their families. So yeah, I would say the silver lining in all of this, for me personally, is the fact that I am luckier than most people. I have food in my house. I have a tent to live in. Like I know a tent is not much, but at least shelter, to have, and not sleep on the side of the street like most people are right now. And yeah, the fact that I didn't lose like my arm, I wasn't injured, I wasn't disabled or something by one
Yeah.
of these close bombings that happened to me multiple times since this all started. The closest of which was a piece of land that was like 8 meters away from my house. Like there was literally a street between my house and the piece of land that was targeted with 5 bombs back then. So to
Were
think
you
that
there
I've
when it happened?
yeah, I was there. Is there a way for me to like share my screen on Zoom? I can.
To share your screen?
Yeah, I mean, if not, like I can send you the pictures. Like I have
Yes,
pictures
you can send
taken
me everything on like on the WhatsApp where we're communicating. Send me everything, and then I'll put it in here.
on. Yeah, so like there's a picture that I took, like I believe 2 or 3 days after the airstrike happened. I've taken that picture from my house's balcony, and you can see the pit hole, or like the hole in the ground because of the bomb was like right there. Like if
Wait,
I
so
would
you
jump
were
from
there?
the
Like you were
balcony.
there when it hit, though?
Yeah, I was inside the house. Yeah, back then I remember the day. Like I remember it so vividly. It was around midday. I believe it was like 5 or 6 p.m. That was when the first airstrike happened, and back then we had almost like, I don't know, bro, like 50 people evacuating in our house from the north. So we would, like my house was like a 3-floor house. Like it was a basement and 2 floors. So we would have like 4 or 3 families in every floor of these three. And when the first airstrike happened, I was in the basement, and all of a sudden, like I found a glass like breaking into inside the house, dust getting into inside the house. I had no idea what is going on, and like I told you, it's not even that you hear it anymore. It's just that you feel like everything stopped for a second, and then like it continued from there. You have like no idea how this is. So like when a when a bomb would happen, would drop nearby, you would hear like the sound of it falling, and then like the impact. But in this one, like there was no falling sound, like straight into the impact. So this
Because it
is
was so
what,
close.
yeah, because it was so close. Like I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I opened my house's door, and I just saw dust. Like I didn't see like anything in front of me. I didn't see the street. I didn't see the wall that we have in front of the house. I just saw dust. So it was like extremely close, and we didn't even like expect that piece of land to be targeted in the first place. Like we had no idea what is going on, like what house was bombed, who was killed, what, like nothing. And from there, like from that time, like once the first airstrike happened, like around like 5 or 6 p.m., up until like 9 p.m., the 4 other airstrikes dropped. So every like half an hour, they would like target that piece of land again. I don't honestly know why, for no reason. And yeah, it was honestly like one of the toughest nights I've lived like since this all started. Like, it was like
Wait,
the
so they
toughest
kept
night.
bombing the same piece of land next to your home?
Yeah, like the exact same piece of land. Now we had pieces of land next to our house, and for the bombs that were dropped at night, we didn't know which of the two was the one that's getting bombed. So we thought like 90% like for a fact it's gonna be the other one. But then like the next day when we woke up and that like the daylight like showed up what happened, we looked at the other piece of land and there was nothing there, and it was this piece of land that had like, I don't know, bro, like 50-meter hole, like a 50-meter wide hole in it. And yeah, and that day that was like the first evacuation that I did. So like I told you, when it comes to like the first few months into the whole insanity that we're living, it wasn't like a matter of, oh hey, like you gotta evacuate your area. No, it was like, okay, a house was bombed like next to my house. Okay, I can't stay here, I gotta leave. So that was
So
the
they're not giving you like alerts. They're not saying get out of this area, we're gonna bomb it.
well, yeah, most of the time, yeah, like they are not. And even if they do, like you have so little time to pack your stuff and move out. So it will even get to the point that people would get injured while evacuating. So like, okay, like I'm moving out of the area. Okay, I'm evacuating. I'm peacing out. But you don't have time. Like you didn't have much time to even get all of your stuff back, to get a transportation and leave. So
How much? Speaking of the evacuation process, how much land is there left that's not been like bombed or?
honestly, like the area that I was in, it's called Deir al-Balah. It's like in the middle of Gaza Strip. It's like not to the south, not to the north. It's like in the middle. I believe that is like the only area that is still in good condition, or at least like was in good condition. And almost 3 weeks ago, I had to evacuate from it. So right now, like speaking as of I'm sitting right here talking to you right now, I would say less than 10 to 15% of Gaza's area is a safe zone. I'm like a safe zone, gotta say it on like with a quote unquote, to for people to evacuate to and to feel kind of safe and to be able to put their tent in, to have some kind of life in. So yeah, it's like this is why that's it. Like living in a tent now is much harder than it was before. That's because of how crowded the areas are. Like the area that I'm in right now, like there are 3 other tents less than 3 meters away from my own tent. So like, bro, I mean, this is just insane. Like I can't believe I'm
Yeah,
living this, but alhamdulillah, thank God for everything.
yeah. It's oh my god. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro.
That's fine, man. It doesn't have
So
to be.
one thing back you mentioned earlier, we were talking about the starvation thing. We see a lot of sort of talk about this as well in our media. How real is that?
The starvation.
Yeah,
Honestly, it can't get any more real than it is right now. Especially like the fact that I don't even look at it from what is happening in the media anymore. Even though you go to the media and you see people like as as young as a few months old to as old as 80 or 70 years old, literally dying from starvation. Like you can see the videos, bro. Like they are literally skin to bone. Like there is nothing left in them. And even for me, like I remember I posted this around a month ago. It was a post on my Instagram page, and I said that all of us in Gaza have 1 or 2 weeks to stay alive. After that, you're gonna see like people dying in groups because of starvation because they have nothing to eat. And the more I went to like the streets, the more I went out and talked to people and went through the streets, the more I believed that this is real. Because every single person that I'm seeing is like way too skinny to be like healthy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
For a fact, okay, like I understand, like there are people that can't gain weight, there are people that can't lose weight, but no matter how skinny you are, no matter how fast your metabolism is, no matter how much you move every day, like there's no way you've been this skinny your entire life. So that goes from people that I personally know, that I've seen lose weight and get much skinnier like with time, and all the way to strangers that I've never met in my life, that I am literally like shocked at how skinny they are, like how they are even able to move or like carry anything around because of how skinny their arms and their necks and their legs are. And seeing them like go, like I would sit in like a place just like the one that I'm sitting in right now, and I would like see some of them for like throughout the hours that I sit in the place, and they have nothing to eat. Like they literally, like sometimes I would have like a piece of bread that I brought from home and like, a cup of coffee that I made. But for them, like they have literally nothing to eat. And they would stay for longer than me and not have anything to eat. So it's honestly just unfathomable to think that this is happening in a world where food is much more available and much more accessible than any time ever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I just hope that it's gonna be solved soon. Like it's already getting a bit better right now, and I hope it's gonna keep going this way until things are back to normal, inshallah.
You think it's getting better right now?
Yeah, because this takes me back to the point of the three sources of aid that we have, and just recently, aid trucks are now allowed into Gaza, not in the amounts that we really need, like not in enough amounts, because according to UN statistics, according to me, like seeing how much food we need in Gaza on a daily basis, we need anywhere from 500 to 600 trucks daily to enter Gaza. And this is what actually happened in the ceasefire. Like when the ceasefire started in January 2025, earlier this year,
Yeah.
that is how many aid trucks were allowed into Gaza. But right now, it's like anywhere from 70 to 80, aid trucks a day. Now, of course, like with time, it accumulates. It makes a bigger difference. Like a lot of products are now available in the market that weren't available like 1 or 2 months ago. A lot of products are much lower in price. So you're saying like a kilogram of sugar went from $100 to $15 in like 3 days. A kilogram of rice went from $25 to $10, also like in 3 days. So you see how simple it is, how quick of a difference it makes. But we've been deprived from it for over 5 months.
You know what's interesting about the statement you just made is that if Hamas was the one selling you, the terrorists were the ones selling you this stuff, the price wouldn't change regardless. Meaning it sounds like it's people, it sounds like it's civilians who were sort of keeping what they could and selling what they could because of the quantity, like supply and demand, versus like a terrorist group keeping the stuff and charging whatever they wanted for it. So yeah, I mean, I guess sort of getting back to the fitness side of things, like how are you even able to get enough food?
Short answer, I can't. Like I'm not getting enough food. Anyone that's asking about it, I'm not getting enough food. The longer answer, the more detailed answer to it is, I am mainly doing it. Oh, are you good, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The more detailed answer to it would be, I am doing this mostly for the mental side of it. Like okay, I'm getting like around like 1,000 to 1,200 calories throughout my day, and that is not enough to like build the slightest bit of muscle. Where like talking about me, when I calculated how many calories I need in a day to
Yeah.
maintain my body weight, it would be like around 2,400, 2,500. And the fact that I'm getting half of that, or like less than half of that, is definitely like not a good sign. I talked about this in my latest video with Jeff Nippert, by the way. Like, for
Yeah.
anyone that wants to check that out. So yeah, I would say, as much as I try to optimize training and nutrition to still make results, to still make gains, to still make progress in my fitness journey, I would say like my main focus in it was, for my mental, side of it. It's just that I would like to stay committed to this little bit of my daily routine that I was used to, that I used to love, and to feel locked in for like half an hour or an hour every day, even though my workouts are much shorter than that because I don't have much energy to do a lot of exercises. But yeah, like anyone that's deep into the fitness stuff knows for a fact that with not much nutrition, with not much calories, with not much protein, you're not gonna make the best progress, if any progress at all. So I would say my main focus right now is just having my mental side to it, still in place, not to kind of keep up with everything that's been going on,
Yeah.
and to hopefully maintain what I've built throughout my journey, so that when the situation gets better, which I hope is gonna happen soon, I'm gonna be able to build from there and to continue taking steps, even though my gym was bombed and I have to stick to home workouts for now. But yeah, I just hope to, like continue on, make more progress, get more jab, go on with this fitness thing.
Well, dude, when you make it out, you got to come to my gym. I'll fly you out here myself. I'll get you somewhere to stay, and you can come train at the gym. And it won't get bombed. It won't get bombed. I
Yeah,
promise.
we won't, yeah, bro. Like we're not gonna get bombed, bro. Like it's gonna
No,
be
no,
safe.
no. I'll fly you out. I promise. It sounds weird, but I'll fly you out.
The only bomb is gonna be the chest workout. We're gonna be having.
Oh yeah. I'm down. It'll be good. Now let's look. That's what we got to do, bro. Let's look forward to that.
I already am, bro. I'm already
Yeah.
am looking forward to that.
We'll film a
I
YouTube
hope-
video. We'll get a chest workout. We'll get some good food. We won't have to worry about any sort of bombings, I guess. Fuck. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, man. I am.
It's fine, bro. You don't have to be. It's
Yeah.
fine. Like you shouldn't be. Like I told you, like in the beginning of this, you can't, have a conversation with a Gazan about his life and not expect some insanity here and there. It's fine. Like
Yeah.
the insanity is there everywhere, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that chest workout, bro. It's gonna be
Yeah.
fire, man.
Yeah. Good.
But by the way, do you know how to do muscle ups?
Yeah, I'm really good.
You can do muscle ups.
Oh yeah, big boy muscle
dang.
ups.
Dang, I wanted to be the one to teach you how to do it.
No, you can still show me. You can show me your style. You can show me how to do it on the rubble of your home.
All right,
home.
bro. Yeah, we can 100%. We can do
The
it.
rubble of your own home muscle ups. Because I don't know how to do those kind of muscle ups, bro. I've never done them. What were you on? You were on like a wire. It was like a wire from it was like a rebar.
Yeah. It was like I don't know what they call them in English, but they're like the basis of the house.
Yeah.
Like the actual basis of the house. That was what it was. So it would have thick like iron wires inside,
Yeah.
and after that we would use the cement. We would put the concrete over it. So yeah, that part was the destroyed part of my house.
Did you ever pick up the rubbles and do curls?
Oh, 100%, man.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so fucked, bro.
How the
Wow.
there you go. 1 second, bro. I might have to change my place. There's someone trying to focus on their studies right here.
Okay, it's gonna end here. Listen, bro, stay in contact. Stay in contact on the WhatsApp, and we'll sort out the rest of the interview stuff so it's smooth for you. And then, brother, I appreciate your time.
Oh, no problem, man. I mean,
You're
appreciate
fucking
having
awesome,
me.
man. Thank you so much. And this goes without saying, but I hope it works out really well for you. And when it does, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna fly you out. We're gonna get you a nice spot. We're gonna get you some food. Seriously, I appreciate your time, man.
Thank you so much for having me on, bro. It was lovely
Yes,
to
sir.
share my journey and life with you guys.
Thank you, brother. Good to have you.
Great to be here, bro. Thank you so much.
See you, man. Yeah.
See you, bro.